Yo, I'm a 30 mil light user, and I will be teaching you all these 5 key things that every great light player will need to master in PvP. Alright, we're going to be starting off with Light Z. So there are 2 main ways you should be using this. The first way would be to use it like a throwaway move. If you are unfamiliar with this term, it basically means it's a move you use more so outside of your combo than inside of it. So if you're still confused on what I'm basically talking about, then let me just show you this example. Now the second way, which is the way that pretty much everyone knows how to use Light Z, is just combining it with other moves, just like this. Alright, next up we got Light X. This is a great move for combo extending as it also has great range to go along with it. And just like Light Z, it goes great with every move in its kit. However, there is one thing that I do not like about this move, and that would be that if you use this move at farther ranges, people can actually escape it. So let me show you what I mean. So if you're going to use Light X, so just make sure that you don't do what I just showed and you just stay close to your opponent, and if you do that, you should basically be good to go. The C move is a fantastic option for combo extending just like the X move. And I feel like you guys can start to notice a common trend among every light move so far at least, and that is that they all go together pretty well, and that's just one of the things that makes light just an outstanding fruit. Now, if you do decide to use Light C as a combo starter, I would highly recommend that you don't do that. And the reason why is because it is very easy to Kentrick. And if you get Kentricked, you're basically going to get punished very hard. And of course, nobody wants that. So please, just stick to combo extending and please do not use it as a combo starter. Now, Light V is just such a cool move on Light, so I'm pretty excited to go over this move. But yeah, basically Light V is just like Light Z. It's just really meant to be used as a throwaway move. That's why you see a lot of people kind of spam this move. Because, I mean, to be honest, that's kind of what it's for. But you can also use it in combos skillfully. So let me explain how to do that. So this move isn't actually a combo starter or a combo extender, but it's really good after moves like Soul Guitar X and Z. And if you want, you could do something like Soul Cane Z, I don't know, something like that. But yeah, overall, you should be using this after a stun move, so Soul Guitar would be best with Light V, so do keep that in mind. Now, of course, we can't be forgetting about Light F. So Light F isn't really that good for PvP, as it's more meant to travel long distances. However, it does specialize in one thing, and that is jumping people. Yes, you heard me right, jumping people. Alright, so now that we covered Light's moveset, let's move on to whether or not you should use Unawakened moves or Awakened moves on Light. Okay, so for me overall, I would say you should stick to every move Awakened. And there's really no need to use the Unawakened moves. They really aren't better than the Awakened counterparts. But what I will say is if you don't have, for example, like Light V Awakened, Unawakened Light V is actually a good alternative considering it can insta-break Ken. Which, by the way, that is insanely nice. However, there is one big con to Unawakened V, and that is the fact that it has really bad AoE compared to its Awakened counterparts, so just keep that in mind. So to answer this question, yes, please just use all the Awakened moves. Don't try to do Unawakened moves. They're not better than the Awakened ones. Now this is where the video gets pretty fun, because we'll be going over the best fighting styles, swords, and guns with Light. So some swords that work excellently well with Light would be Spiky Trident, Fox Lamp, and Soul Cane, just to name a few. There are, of course, some other swords like CDK, I know, but come on. Let's be real, if you're using CDK and Light, I can't really respect that. You're probably a spammer, so come on. We're here to change that, guys. And yeah, overall, I'm not like the biggest fan of CDK, so there's that as well. Alright, so I think we should go over the guns next with Light. So honestly, the best gun I would use is probably Soul Guitar. No, not probably. Definitely. I don't know why I said probably. My bad. But yeah, as I was saying, Soul Guitar is easily the best thing for light, considering that it's going to be your main combo starter and main combo extender. Like, bro, it can literally do 2 jobs in one. I mean, talk about an OP gun right there. That is just something else. Now, the thing about fighting styles and light is that light goes pretty well with almost every fighting style in the game, and that's just a really cool thing about light that I like. But if you guys want some personal recommendations from me, I would say that you should use these fighting styles on screen. These fighting styles work excellently well when you pair it with light, and overall, they just have some broken combinations, which I will be showing you guys up next. Alright, I know you guys have been waiting for this, so here are the light combos that I promised. So as I always say, Hunter's Cape and Swan Glasses are just easily the best accessories in the game. So we're gonna go over both of these accessories so that you guys know which one is best for you. Okay, so starting with Hunter's Cape, I probably wouldn't recommend this. I mean, overall, it's just so good. But considering that light already has really good amounts of speed, Hunter's Cape isn't really needed considering it excels in speed. Not to mention the fact it's more for like sword and gun mains and not so much for fruit mains, but if you want to use it or like you don't have Swan Glasses, sure, use Hunter's Cape. Now Swan Glasses is definitely the pick I would go for when you're using light, considering it's the most versatile accessory since it has like a perfect mixture of offense and defense. And you know, it doesn't give as much speed as Hunter's Cape, but that's fine considering that light is already fast enough. You really don't need Hunter's Cape. And if you're wondering why I might have Hunter's Cape on right now, it's just simply because I want to travel around the map faster. Because, you know, this video took a while to make, so with that being said, subscribe. Now I'm gonna just throw this in there. This was not even part of the script. I can't believe I forgot this, but Dark Coat is also a really good option just because it's really good as a fruit main. However, I would still say to stick with Swan Glasses because, you know, it's got that perfect mixture of offense and defense, and how could you not like that? I mean, come on. But if you somehow have Dark Coat and not Swan Glasses, which by the way, that's impressive how that even happens, but okay, good for you, I guess. Then yeah, go for Dark Coat. Now I'm sure you've wondered from time to time how some people are just so good at PvP, and you're probably wondering, how do I get that good as well? Well, these tips should hopefully help you understand the concepts of how to actually get good at PvP. Okay, so this kind of goes with pretty much any fruit in the game, but I do really want to talk about it with light, and that is finding your playstyle. But yeah, the cool thing about light is there's multiple playstyles that you can use and adapt to. For example, there's like some people I see who use a playstyle where they kind of like to keep their distance and use like light moves like Z, X, and V, kind of just sniping people. So that's like a sniping playstyle. And I think it's good to recognize what your playstyle is and how you can use that to your advantage. For example, if you're a light user and you're going against an ice user, it'd be best to use that kind of playstyle. Even if it is kind of spammy, it'd be best to use that, I guess. So that was just one example of a playstyle with light. There's obviously more. For example, my playstyle would be where you get really aggressive and close to people. And I do this with pretty much every fruit, but especially light. Because I like to combo start with Soul Guitar, as you've seen my combos already, hopefully. I really hope you didn't skip that part. If you skipped that part, shame on you. But yeah, basically I just get up close and then just start combos with Soul Guitar, and boom, there's my busted combo. You're not getting out of that. So yeah, basically try to figure out what your playstyle is with light and try to see the advantages and disadvantages of that. And yeah, just see where you can go from there. Now, if you know me, you would know that I love using soul guitar. I mean, this is just, it's so broken, bro. It's just too good. The clicks, the Z, the X move, it's just on a different level. But when you combine it with light, you get something special. I'm not gonna lie, bro. So let me show you how I would combine the two. So with Soul Guitar Z, what you can do is you can use some of the light throwaway moves. And if you don't remember what they are, don't worry, I'll tell you right now. So we got light Z and light V. These will be your two main throwaway moves. So it would look something like this. Now there is one more thing that I like to do a lot. If you've watched some of my old like bounty hunting videos, you would know that I kind of do Soul Guitar Z, Soru, then Soul Guitar X, and then, you know, whatever the combo is after that. So here's an example of me performing this. So you guys should know by now that Soul Guitar X will be your main combo starter, as I think I've referenced that like 3 times in this video. Now one more thing I would like to add on to that would be the fact that you should be doing this on the ground and not in the air, because it's just so much easier to do it on the ground. If you do it in the air, first things first, you can't soar into the air unless you put your cursor on someone, which that's an advanced technique if you even know what I'm talking about. So we're not gonna go there, alright? Just try your best to do it on the ground. And with that being said, let's move on to the final tip. So the incredible thing about light is it's so good against air campers. I just love using light, bro. It's just so good against air campers. In my last tip, I did say that you should only be using like Soul Guitar really on the ground. So you might be wondering, how do I deal with air campers then? Well, if you did ask that, I'm glad you did mention it, because it's actually quite simple. All you have to do is pressure them with your light moves, which the best moves for that, by the way, would be light Z, light X, and light V. These moves right here are really good in the air. And I wouldn't really bother using light C. I see a lot of people trying to do that, but it's so easy to Kentrick, so please, do not do that. And of course, you can use your fighting style, like if you're using God Human, just hold God Human C. It's really not that hard. Of course, you don't only need God Human. I'm just saying that most of you guys are probably using God Human. Like Sharkman Karate, for example, would be so good in the air as well. But yeah, just make sure you remember that yes, you use your light moves and your fighting style moves and you should be good to go. It's really not that hard. But yeah, one more thing I do want to add on, when using your fighting style in the air, you want to try to push them downwards, because, well, obviously, when you push them down, they're going closer to the ground, right? It's not that hard to understand, is it? Alright, so lastly, I think we should cover the pros and cons of light. So the pros of light will be that it has really good range, very good AoE, and decent to above average combo extending / starting. The cons of light would be that it heavily depends on Soul Guitar, has reduced flight speed when low, and being very Kentrickable with almost every single move. And yes, light really does depend on Soul Guitar when you get to really high levels of using light, especially when you consider the fact that pretty much all of the light combos I showed you guys were started with Soul Guitar X. Alright, so now that you all know how to use light like a pro, click on this video to learn how to use dark like a 30 mil, and I hope to see you there.